Hey guys, Ganan Campanato here to do my post-draw analysis and to let you guys know who I think will get out of each of these groups and who I think will win the World Cup. And I know this is a little premature, but I would like to go over it with you. So, having said that, we have this first group over here with Mexico, South Africa, Korea, and this FIFA playoff D: Denmark, Macedonia, Czech Republic, and Ireland. I think that Denmark will be getting out of this group as a number one. Then Korea, Republic, then Mexico, then South Africa. Moving on to the next group here with Canada, playoff team A, Qatar, and Switzerland. I think that Italy will qualify and they will come in first, and Switzerland second, Canada third, and Qatar fourth. Moving on here, we have the Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. I'm going to be going with Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. Group D, USA, Paraguay, Australia, and playoff C. I think Turkey is going to qualify, and I see them, topping the group with USA second, Paraguay three, and Australia four. Moving on to Group E, I have Germany, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and Curacao. Group F, I am going to be going with Netherlands, Japan. I think Ukraine will get out of this group for the playoff, and then Tunisia. Group G, I think Belgium, Iran, Egypt, and New Zealand. Group H, Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cabo Verde. Group I say Norway is going to top it. France will be in second, Senegal third. Iraq, Bolivia, and Suriname will be last. Group J, I'm going with Argentina, Austria, Algeria, and Jordan. Group K, I'm going with Portugal, Colombia, this other playoff group third, and Uzbekistan fourth. Actually, I made a mistake there. Jamaica, New Caledonia, Bolivia, and I would say Uzbekistan will be third, and then that Jamaica, New Caledonia, group there, they would be last, and then finally England, Croatia, Panama, and Ghana in Group L. And my pick, the best third place teams. I'm going with Mexico, Senegal, Canada, Panama, Scotland, Paraguay, Ivory Coast. Yeah, Ivory Coast and Ukraine will advance. So then we go to the knockouts here, and I'm gonna go with Germany versus Paraguay. I got Germany, Norway versus playoff B. I got Norway advancing. Korea versus Switzerland. Playoff B, I believe that is that was the Ukraine, yeah. So Norway versus Ukraine, Norway would progress. Korea versus Switzerland, I got Switzerland. Netherlands versus Morocco, I got Netherlands. Colombia, Croatia, I got Croatia. Spain versus Austria, I have Spain. Playoff C versus Canada, I have Turkey beating Canada. Belgium, Mexico, I have Belgium. Brazil, Japan, I have Brazil. France, Ecuador, France. Playoff D in Scotland, that's Denmark versus Scotland. I have Scotland. England versus Senegal, I got England. Wow, there's a lot of teams. Argentina versus Uruguay, Argentina, USA versus Iran. I have USA going through. Playoff A, Italy versus Ivory Coast. I have Italy going through. Portugal, Panama, Portugal. Then the round of 16, Germany versus Norway, Norway, Switzerland, Netherlands, Switzerland, uh, Croatia versus Spain. I have Spain. Playoff C, which I have Turkey. I have them beating Belgium. And Brazil versus France. I have France winning. England versus Scotland. Sorry, my Scottish friends. I think England will beat them, and that'll be a hell of a game. Argentina versus USA. I'm going to pick Argentina. And then, I would pick, Italy to lose against Portugal. I was going to put Italy as number, 2 in their group because I think Switzerland have had their number. And I think that it'd probably be a better, I don't know. I mean, if they came in second in that group, like Switzerland, they would have to play Korea and then Netherlands and then um, Norway. So, anyways, the round of 16, I got Norway beating Switzerland, Spain beating the Pot C team, which I believe is Ukraine, France beating England, Argentina beating Portugal. Then you got in the semifinals, Norway versus Spain. You have Spain and France. So then I have France losing to Spain in the final. So that's what I have going on in this World Cup over here. And yeah, I'm pretty bullish on this, as Alexi Lawless would say. Going back to the groups. I mean, back to Group A, like I told you, I think that Denmark will qualify out of there. I know Korea Republic, they've been, coming on lately and they've been a strong team. And, I would say, Korea or Denmark is going to finish, but I just picked Denmark. Um, Mexico, I know they're playing home, but they really haven't been playing good. They haven't been in any kind of form. So that's why I got them third. And this other group over here, Group B, I mean, I really probably should put Switzerland first. My bias over here, puts Italy, even though we're not qualified, and I'm sure we're gonna get not qualified now. But and you know what? I mean, I could even yeah, I could even see, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if Italy didn't qualify and you know, who knows? Maybe they get in third place. I don't know. Um, who knows? Say they made it and they played Canada and they tied them, and then they played Switzerland and they tied them, and then they play Qatar. I don't know. I don't know. Like I could see that Group B. Maybe it's gonna be like a three-way tie for first place. Like these teams over here. I don't even know if it's mathematically possible, but like say Italy tied Switzerland and Canada and then beat Qatar like 1-0. It'd be such an Italy thing to do. And then that these other teams they do the same thing. They tie each other and then they beat Qatar worse. And then Italy comes in third place, or they don't even qualify. So I don't know. That Group B is very weird. I got to see how Italy's playing, and I got to see how Italy's playing in the playoffs, and then I'll go from there. This is just the early preview. And this other group, Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, I think it's going to be a great group. You have Brazil, from what I understand, Morocco's been playing good. And I'm happy to see that Scotland is in the tournament. I think they'll bring a lot of, fanfare, and there'll be some great games. They'll play hard with Scott McTominay and those guys. And yeah. So, but honestly, to tell you the truth, I think that's going to be a tough group. Scotland, Morocco, and Brazil. I mean, these Scottish players, they have, heart of a lion. They were losing, or no, they were playing Denmark or something like that, and the way they came back or something like that, that team is not going to go down. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if any of those three teams came first. But unfortunately for Haiti, they are not gonna progress out of that group. They will come in last place. And in this other group over here, Group D, this is another, tricky group. I would not be shocked over here if any of these teams got in first place. I mean, they're all good teams. I mean, USA has played Paraguay and Australia. I believe they beat them 2-1. Turkey beat USA, and I know, these are just, one goal games. But I truly believe that any of these teams could go first. Turkey, that's a good team with Yildiz and the guy Guler from Real Madrid, and they got all these other players. Vincenzo Montella is the coach. This USA team, I mean, they're starting to play good, and they're playing at home. Paraguay, it's a South American team. It's not an easy team. In Australia, I mean, I wouldn't look too much into this Paraguay, Australia. I'm sure they weren't playing their strongest 11. So, anyways, I just took a roll of the dice. I think, those three teams will progress: Paraguay, USA, and Turkey. But honestly, sorry to my Australian friends, but I put them in fourth. But honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if any of those teams finish first. It's a very balanced group. This Group E, I think, is more straightforward, a little bit more straightforward, with Japan, Ecuador, and Ivory Coast. This other group, Group F, I mean, again, here we go again. I have Ukraine, Japan, and Netherlands. I mean, I would not be shocked if Ukraine, no, actually, I would not be shocked if Netherlands, Japan, or Ukraine came in first in any, the top three. Here we go. Belgium, Iran, Egypt. I think this is more straightforward. I mean, we always talk smack about Belgium and how are they like in the top of the FIFA rankings when how are they in the top of the FIFA rankings when they never win anything? But, I think in this group over here they will, finally look like they deserve their FIFA ranking, and they'll get on top. I think they'll beat Iran and Egypt and New Zealand. Group H, to me it's straightforward: Spain, Uruguay, Saudi. Group I mean, that's a tough group. I put Norway at the top, France, Senegal, and then the Iraq, Bolivia, Suriname in fourth place. Iraq. Yeah. Yep. Argentina, Austria, Algeria, and Jordan in Group J. I'm pretty sold on that. Group K, Portugal, Colombia. I think those guys will be top two. We'll see what my guy Fabio Cannavaro does with this Uzbekistan. I've been hearing from people that they're a pretty tough team. So, yeah, I would go back with Uzbekistan third, and then this other FIFA playoff group last. And then, this I think is the group of death over here. Group L: England, Croatia, Panama, and Ghana. I mean, Panama, they always give USA some type of issue, and they beat them. And, Ghana has historically been a good African team. And Croatia, I mean, Croatia is Croatia. They're always going to be tough. And then obviously England is not no slouch. So, yeah, those are my picks. And regarding Italy, I mean, looking where I placed the other teams in the bracket over here, that if Switzerland came second, they would play Korea and then potentially Netherlands or Morocco. Wow, either way is going to be tough. And if they came in third, I mean, I think if they came in third, it'd probably be a more favorable draw because I'm thinking that they would play Ukraine, then they would play Belgium, and then they would have to play Spain in the quarterfinals. Wow. Versus if Italy were to come in first, they would likely have to play Ivory Coast in Vancouver. Then they would stay in Vancouver and they would play Portugal. And if they won that, they would have to play Argentina. And if they won that, then they would have to play France. Wow. Yep. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. So, I don't know, guys. I know I posted the other day that I know I posted the other day that Italy's gonna win the World Cup, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I I'm looking at this brackets over here and how they would roll out, and it's just tough either way. I mean, it's really tough. I mean, assume that Italy, like I said, assume that they came in second place in the group. I have them playing, like Korea, and that's not going to be an easy game. And then Netherlands. I mean, maybe the path forward for Italy. Listen, maybe the path forward for Italy is coming in second place in that group if they qualify. Then they would have to play a Korea and a Netherlands or Morocco, and then rematch with Norway and Boston. Imagine that, Italy versus Norway in Boston. Wow, I can't tell you how many Italians would be there at the quarterfinal, and then from there they would likely be playing a Spain in Dallas. Wow, they're gonna do a lot of freaking flying. Just think about that. I think Italy they need to play in Toronto if they got there. Then they go to Vancouver. Then they go to Seattle. And say they came in second place, they would need to go to Houston. No, they would need to go to yeah. So they would stay on the West Coast and play Korea. Then if they won, they would go to Houston. Then if they won that, they would have to travel all the way back to the East Coast. Then all the way, if they won that, they would have to go to to Dallas and then back to the final in New Jersey. If they came in third place, I'm thinking they would probably play Ukraine, and then if they won that, they would play Belgium, and then if they won that, they would play Spain, and then likely Norway. I don't know. I'm thinking that if Italy could get second or third, it's probably better than first because if they go on the first, they're probably going to have to play Portugal and then Argentina. Honestly, I think we're better off doing second or third place because I told you about this. I picked the Swiss for second and then Italy and then Canada for third. So listen to this. If Italy wins third place, they would have to go they would go from Toronto to Vancouver to Seattle. I think it's Seattle. No, I think it goes Toronto, then to LA and Seattle, something like that. Yeah. Then they would go to San Francisco to play Ukraine, then to Seattle to play Belgium, then to Los Angeles. And if they won that, they would go to Dallas and then New Jersey. So, honestly, to tell you the truth, I think it's best for Italy to come in second or third. Um, in the round of 32, they would play Ukraine, most likely play Ukraine, then Belgium, and then they would have to play Spain. Wow. And then Norway. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a tough road either way, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, I'm going to go delete that post. I'm going to go delete that post about them. I mean, I'm not saying I will always have the faith, you know what I mean? But I mean, that's a tough road to go over here for Italy. I mean, you're talking about if you win, if you win your group, you're gonna have, a Ivory Coast, then a Portugal, then a Argentina, and I think it's France. Or if you go in the second or third, you're gonna be running into Norway or Spain. So I don't know, guys. So, anyways, that's all I got. And sorry I couldn't share my screen. Some little technical difficulties over here. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys subscribe. You like my video. You follow us on Instagram. You follow us on X. You follow us on TikTok, Facebook. That's all. That's what I got.